We are live.
Mayang buntag, mayang hapon, mayang gabi, no matter where you are in the world.
Welcome to Phil's to Phoenix channel.
There you go. I try to do the camera adjustments and all that fun stuff before we start,
Let's see.
but the difference in aperture and all their frame size and all that fun stuff, sometimes some things get included that really shouldn't, and periodically we get
Okay. I hear the sound. You're good.
But what's going on? Yesterday, we did a live stream. Papa and I did a walk from Velez Hospital area.
Yes.
And the reason we were at Velez Hospital was?
For the maternity package deal and submitting my documents. Like starting all over again, the documents and process.
That you had a little bit of a doctor change. For a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
None of them were bad or anything like that.
They're all good. It's just that's the reality. When I gave birth, I would just need to rush to the hospital, submit my form, and whoever doctor available, they can take care of me and deliver.
And this way you're seeing all of the doctors, not any one of them in particular.
Yeah, so all of the doctors that are resident in the hospital.
And then on top of it, although the lady has, the doctor has an office at Velez, she doesn't have practice at Velez. She has practice at a different hospital. So all things said, that we decided, and mainly you decided, agreed that.
Isn't like more villas than perpetual support by reading the reviews in perpetual support, which is the receptionist, down for them, they don't really take care of them. So.
Morning, Mr. Brendan. how you doing today?
Hi, Brandon.
Welcome to our Thursday Chikka.
Yeah,
I think we're going to start calling these Thursday Chikkas.
Yeah, here
It may confuse a few people on the day, but
and it's Wednesday that evening. Yeah, so they will be giving me more exams and ultrasounds and
the initial appointment took about 2 hours, and a big chunk of it was that they were trying to find records. And it seems that from one office to the next, records got misplaced, lost, folded, thinly mutilated, or something. And so, fortunately, you had extra copies with you.
Yeah, Mama said so. And Mama said so. They don't have your file, like all your documents. I'm like, no. So that's why I have extra copies and give it to them.
Yeah, we've learned anytime you go to any kind of business, anything here in the Philippines, pretty much bring a complete set of copies of everything that you need or possibly think you might need or anything else.
So realize
part of the reason why we bought a printer.
They're like 36 weeks pregnant. They're at 38. They have a big folder, with all of their documents, and also why are they carrying heavy stuff? And they have big bag and so on and so forth. And then when I came from the doctor, and I said, maybe Mama, I'll be like that 36 weeks from now.
Speaking of printer, we actually managed to get some business card stock.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm distracted back here in the background, but I've been sending out invites, and this morning I just kind of got I got lazy, and I didn't get the invite sent out until just now, and I realized that I hadn't sent any invites out yet. And so now I'm actually in the process of sending out notifications. Inbox. There we go. That somewhere, somehow, there's a way to do a group message on the Facebook business page, and I need to figure that one out. Uh, and because that would make this way simpler. Because what I wind up doing now is cutting and pasting to the different people.
So how are you, Brandon? Miss Brandon is watching us.
I'm good. All right, yeah, I got the main ones that show up. Okay, I'm done. I'm back. I'm done. We actually got some business card paper stock. And like most things in the Philippines, it's manual. But we also got a pretty cool paper cutter.
Yes, we do.
And the thing I like about it over the one that we've got back in the US is this one can handle at 11 and a half, can handle an 11 and a half lengthwise. The one back in the US doesn't. And so this one's actually a little bit more versatile. It was only like 300 pesos. So it's only about $6. These are on the paper, these are on regular paper, but we finally managed to print out business cards again. And we found where we can get a supply of it so we can go back to printing our own business cards finally. Good morning, Mr. David. How are you doing today? Yeah, sorry, I was late on my invite. I forgot about that. I've had a bunch of people ask for them. We brought over
we have
some.
Some in Phoenix too. I have in mine and I forgot them. We have that.
That tin?
Yeah.
You know where that tin is?
It's in the office room. I know. It's just one of those boxes that I put because I forgot that I should bring them.
The ones we had back in the States and that we actually brought over had printing on the back of it. I don't remember what it was. And we blew through what we brought in a week that the people were asking about. And I've been half-heartedly looking ever since. But when we finally found the paper, I reopened the template that I had, and it's the only template I can find. And what was printed on the back isn't there. So I don't, and it's been long enough that I don't remember what all was printed there.
No big deal.
So we'll figure that one out.
We got our maternity exam. Mama and Papa are.
Yes, Mama and Papa are leaving us.
They're going to Manila.
They're going to Manila for probably about a month.
Yeah. Mama has 4 kids, so that's why they need to divide their time.
Well, and they're not really going to visit a kid, but they're going to visit a condo of a kid.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend is currently living over there, but she got a job in the U.S. finally.
Yeah. Her flight will be in July 24th.
She's also a teacher, and I don't know whether or not it's the same service or a competitive service. Well, it is the same. That she got a job with the same service that Johnrae's with, and she's going to South Carolina? North Carolina. Raleigh?
I'm not sure.
She goes somewhere in North Carolina. And so Johnrae was able to get a transfer up to North Carolina to be with her.
Yeah.
But she's leaving July 24th.
Her visa interview will be on July 4th.
No.
Mama's birthday is July 15th.
You said it's going to be on July 4th or 14th?
Oh, July. It's Independence Day. We said about 4th, and then I know it's.
Yeah, it won't be on the 4th. The embassy
No, it's 5th.
Okay. What day is it?
Sunday.
Ain't going to be on the 5th.
So it got moved either 2 or 6.
Yeah, it'll either be on the 2nd or 6th.
That's why Mama and Papa already have the ticket.
But they're going to stay in Manila until after she leaves. And that way they can close up the condo and get everything ready, make sure all the bills will get paid and all that fun stuff. Yes, Brandon, that's why we got the business cards. And we, especially when Papa and I are out walking, we will often have people ask that we could easily give away 10 a day. And so what I'll do is I'll print out, we got a pack of 10 pages and they print up 10 each. And you got to go through and manually cut them, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah. And Gigi will be going back to the sea.
Yeah, so we bought, I'm flopping back and forth on trains of thought here. Yeah, my train of thoughts often derail. Mom and Papa got tickets, and Cindy was able to get tickets and buy tickets last night.
Yeah.
And so they're leaving on the Monday the 28th.
Yes. I'm just like wondering why the water pressure. Maybe
I'll be back in a second. Cindy,
no, I'll take a look at it.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah, I get it. I'll fix it.
We've got a toilet valve that sticks, and the water flow without the pressure is low enough that you wouldn't necessarily see that it's stuck. And that's how we tell it's stuck. We hear the thing turn on 3 times. But Mama and Papa are going to be in Manila until after April leaves, and that way, yeah, you're not lying on that one, Brandon. No.
Yeah. It's the
The only toilet that's been used recently was downstairs. I'll get that one in a little bit.
I'm just staring at it.
So April's leaving on the 24th of July.
Yes.
So when are Mama and Papa return?
Maybe after that, I don't know.
Oh, you only got a one-way ticket.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't know when they're coming back yet. Oh, okay.
Because I don't know what also flight did just fly. Maybe earlier than April. I mean April is the girl we have.
That a lot of people will ask what our YouTube channel is.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to spell it out to them or putting it on their phone, that we've got it in. I'm trying to get this stupid thing to focus, but it's got all of our info. That it's got the blog that we do, the YouTube,
which I'm not writing,
the Facebook, and my Flickr account, and we do post them relatively frequently, and we're going to try and start doing that a lot more regular. But we've been trying that for the last 7 months. So, yeah, you'll have to excuse me for adjusting around. The chair's not. It's way more comfortable than those, but they're still not terribly comfortable.
You should grab my chair.
Yeah, we use the business cards just to help people with directing them to our YouTube account, and to let them know that we do have Facebook as well as a blog that we occasionally post to. Some occasionally post to.
Yearly.
I am going to be making a post here in the next little bit. We've been in the Philippines 258 days, and just out of dumb curiosity, in 300 days, I'm going to make a post on our blog about 300 days in the Philippines from a foreigner. because it'll have been 300 days, it'll have been almost a year under the stupid pandemic stuff. And it will be, I need to silence my phone or I'm going to be horribly distracted with other things. There we go.
Yeah, I get distracted too.
I get horribly distracted on stuff way too easily. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the big thing on that is that we do try to post to that as much as we can. And for a lot of reasons, we just haven't done the articles that we had intended to do. Although somebody has constantly had time and never does the articles.
I want to see sleeping. I have.
That we've talked about it. We've had some stuff happen and it kind of emphasized the time that we need to get some time to ourselves and do some adventures. And so since Mama and Papa are going to be gone at least until the end of July.
Yeah, we're gonna start going to somewhere.
And this is probably about the last month or so that you'll be able to travel, do much.
Yeah, next month. Month of July.
Yeah, that's this next month. Because it's
And
already
the following month too.
it's already the 24th.
Yeah, you're right.
June's almost gone. There's only 6 more days in June.
It's gonna be 22 weeks.
Yeah. Time flies.
Yeah.
So next month is about July is about it for your traveling. August will be kind of iffy. September, October, month 8 and 9 is not realistic. And that's what we're going to do. That we are, that Brandon, you're right. We definitely need to, and it's something that we haven't been doing since we got here.
You get distracted.
Although it's something we've repeatedly talked about, and it can be hard to do, especially with family and trying to get set up and trying to do things. And we've had.
It's like also helping them. It's just we're juggling a lot of stuff because it's an extended family. We have the two of us. But if whatever mom and papa needs, my brother needs it. And I tend to, and I get distracted and I forgot about us, which is because of them. You know what I mean? It's hard.
Well, in all fairness, we've had like 4 false starts since we got here. If the guys that have been with us for a while, if you remember when we first got here, we were talking about going to Live, and that didn't happen. And we were also talking about going to another area in Mindanao, and that didn't happen. And then we decided to try and start in Sabunga and build a little bit more there and get a little more permanency there, and that didn't happen.
And then I get pregnant.
We came up here and kind of started a little bit in Cebu and kind of like the time to ourselves, but close to family. And so we were, after your contracts were done, we were looking at going to just start wandering around, and then found out we're pregnant. And so that one didn't happen. And so we've had repeated false starts on getting things going and horribly changing priorities during that time.
For the past few months. And it's really right.
And
Because
so
our time was like being this, because with my documents here, bureaucratic documents, social field, health, pag-ibig, all of those need to be taken care. Passport, driver license, updating of marriage from single status to married status, getting new ID, and so on and so forth. And it takes time. So with the opening of the bank account.
and we may still want to go and open yet another bank account.
Yeah.
That
That will be the last.
I hope so. We'll,
We have checking the savings dollar account. We have peso checking account. And now we need to get ATM.
yeah, because here in the Philippines, you don't go open a bank account that has savings, checking, ATM, all that into one account. And I found this out the hard way. You go open a savings account. It's a passbook. It's not an ATM. It's not a checking account. It's a passbook savings account. And then you go open a checking account. It's not a savings account. It's not an ATM account. It's just a checking account. It's we made the mistake when we went in there, and this was just my wording, that we wanted to open up a US dollar checking account, and going with the wording and understanding of what a bank account in the US was, and they told us, no, we don't have that. Wait a second, your website, we don't have US dollar checking accounts.
Well, we have.
And so we got in there, the teller and I got into a little bit of a heated, Cindy finally got into a little bit of a heated discussion. Finally, a manager came over and explained it, that they don't have a checking account, but they do have a US dollar savings account. Could that be what you meant? I said, yeah, but, and that's when he started to explain and help me at least understand a little bit better that here you have to open up individual accounts for all of us. You don't, that they do have a combined account, but you got to have massive regular balance in there, more than would be worth it for us to keep. It's just way easier for us to keep track of the different accounts. So, anyways, yeah, that's banking 101 in the Philippines. We need to do a video on that topic. But so we have a US dollar savings account. We have a Philippine peso checking account. We have a Philippine peso bank account, savings passbook account. But the drawback of the passbook account is you've got to go in there and get the money. You have to go to a teller and get the money. You can't just go to an ATM and withdraw the money.
Dino is there. Hi, Dino. How are you?
Oh, not too. How are you doing today? Not too terribly much. We talked about some updates. We explained when I was Cindy's maternity exam. Everything's going well. She is going back for a couple more tests next couple weeks or sometime soon.
I need to do ultrasound, sugar fasting, urine again.
The joys of pregnant life.
Yeah.
But, it's been a bit of a challenge for her in a lot of this.
But at least I get the maternity package deal, which is a lot. It's an expensive one compared to the private doctor. Because the one they're offering, the doctor, my original doctor, she recommended if you want me in, if you want to go to my hospital, that will cost you 150,000 to 200,000 pesos.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'll do to Veles, I could be lower down. So, hi,
And-
Kuya Paul from Annette Marlene. I'm a Filipino.
We got to figure out a way to notify you.
Yeah. And Dina said she looks good. I just finished my yoga, so I got a lot of energy.
She started to do yoga most mornings, not every morning, but most mornings.
I tried because my body is aching, so I need to stretch and breathing, and it actually helps though. The yoga helps.
I think it does.
That's why I get pregnant too. No, I'm kidding. My doctor said, maybe that's the reason why I get pregnant, because remember December, January, February, March, I do yogas every morning.
I never heard of yoga causing pregnancy before, but okay.
She was just being, silly about that.
I need to get a second cup so I can.
Where did it go?
No, don't worry about it.
How about you, John? Get into some of those yoga like that.
Yeah, no, you couldn't get me into those
No, you
yoga.
tried once.
Yeah, I tried once. You need a crowbar to get me into them, and probably a crowbar to get me back out of them.
There's simple one too.
Some of the more simple ones that I've kind of messed around and played, teased her about it. But,
We do Zumba too together.
back in Phoenix, we did Zumba together for
Here,
a short
where
time.
you go that too, and I have my Zumba. You also join me.
Oh, over at the condo a couple times.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
here downstairs.
I didn't remember downstairs, but okay, I remember at the condo a couple
You
times.
know, if your yoga classes that your cost per minute.
I know a couple of those too.
It's silly.
That, yeah, there's a reason why guys like watching competitive yoga.
Brandon and Daniel was like,
Dang it.
it's not COVID, it's 40 years of smoking.
Yeah, you didn't land on that one. That and the humidity has been off the freaking
It's been
charts.
raining too, like almost every day. Okay, be careful because today will be raining too.
Yeah, yesterday we went,
Went to, no, I was
it
there.
was Monday. No, it was yesterday, Monday.
Yeah, yesterday was raining, the other day was raining. We went to renew my passport
Yeah, Monday? No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday when we went to renew her passport, on the way back home, it was raining bad enough. I almost pulled over.
Hey, I'm glad we went straight because after the rain, it got so traffic because of the flooding in the roads. That's why I told Mama, oh, I'm glad we did not, stop.
That,
We're going with yoga and Zumba.
yeah, because the roads here not only are way narrower and everything, that they drain okay, but they flood bad.
Yeah.
And they may be blocked for 15, 20 minutes, but 15, 20 minutes is enough to cause horrible, horrible backups. And you've got some people that have got vehicles that can get through, and they're trying to fight traffic to get through. And oh, very cool. Hard drive. Okay. I was trying to figure out what a hand drive was. That's what I was saying. I need my glasses. Very cool. That can sometimes be a huge challenge. That yeah, I tended to do work in some older clothes
Well, you
that
are,
Cindy didn't like.
Mama, this is Mama notice. Because the first time you came here in the Philippines, you're like a cowboy and you only have one pair of jeans and you wear that like the entire week. And your t-shirts and Mom t-shirts and Mom, that's why like during the with our married, like I said, you need to wear decent clothes when you pick me up. I remember one time that I said, I'm not embarrassed about you. Remember when you go to my office and pick me up,
Oh,
and then you're having really dirty something, and I said, and you said, oh, can I come into your office? I said, no, because
oh, okay. Because and I hate doing that, but I wound up subscribing for a month to a service that does that stuff. I was only about 10, 15 bucks, and maybe more than that, but it wasn't terribly much. But to do just that, so I may have to keep a weed
to
cleaning
clean
here.
up.
But is it a call
Clean up.
attack? Because Premiere Pro burped and ate a file of mine, and I didn't have a backup to it anywhere, and that one kind of irritated me. And so since then, I've taken to going and I've got two external hard drives to the computer, smaller 2 terabyte and then a big 8 terabyte that I keep and back everything up to. And I've got another 8 terabyte back in the US that I keep everything backed up to. I didn't flash the 2 drives before I came over. That was my bad. I should have. I didn't think about it. But anyways, since then, I immediately download files to the primary one.
Yeah.
I'll immediately back it up to the 8, so that way I do have a spare copy. One other time, and I'm still fighting to try and get that one back. Now, Daniel, I got to ask you a question. I may have a copy of this here with me. If not, I've got it back in Phoenix. But I'll have to figure out a way to get it over here. Is that to repair a broken file, or is that to retrieve a deleted file? Because I got one that will retrieve deleted files, but it didn't repair broken files. And I need one to repair a broken file. I know the information's in there. I've tried a couple different ways. Yeah, the redundant backup is the only way to go. Any of our important documents, I've got at least in 3 different places. A few of them I've got in 4 or 5 different places. And at least one of them is a cloud location so that I can get them no matter where I'm at. Yeah, I need to find somebody that's got one to repair a corrupted file. That I've got a video file from a few years ago. It was actually a pretty cool file. And it wound up being corrupted for a couple of reasons, but I thought about buying a program like that. There was an option to buy that program. It was about that price, and maybe same or similar, but I just had a hard time. I kind of choked on spending $110. But anyways, it was a file of the eclipse in Portland. And what it was actually an accidental file that I forgot about.
You gotta eat first downstairs.
Okay, somebody's eating for 2, but since you're going down for 2.
Yeah, I'll do. Sorry, guys.
That we didn't have breakfast. I'm not terribly hungry in the mornings, and Mama and Papa left first thing this morning to go back to Sabunga. They're going back to Sabunga, getting some stuff ready and prepared to be gone for a month, 4 to 6 weeks. And so they left early, and we didn't have breakfast. So she's kind of hungry. And because of the pregnancy, and I've been telling her this all along, and she finally got that book, What to Expect When You're Expecting. And I guess they talked about it too. Because of the baby growing inside, you're going to be constantly hungry, but you eat 3 spoonfuls and you're going to be full because your stomach's so crushed. And so you wind up eating what seems to be constantly, but it's tiny portions. Because she was worried about eating too much. It got deleted, and a friend of mine had a program similar to it and was able to recover it. But when it was recovered, it got corrupted. That there's something not right with the file. And you can see images out of it in some places, but it's just not, there's some key piece of information missing, and I don't know what it is. And I know that there's a couple programs out there that will do that. I got one, and it restored a couple of them that were corrupted, but not this one in particular. And so I still hang on to the file, and I will periodically send it to somebody. Trying to recover those files is a crapshoot at best. Some of them are real easily recovered, some of them not so much. And video files have a tendency of being a real bad crapshoot. When I subscribed to that program, there was a bunch of other video files on there that were recovered but were corrupted. That I store and delete a ton of videos. And because I do store a ton, then there's a bunch that wind up getting deleted that they're just not of any quality. And so, but there was a few of them that were recoverable but corrupted. And the SD card and the camera that I had was not great. It was an older camera. It wasn't a GoPro. It was an older Get Up. It was an older Get Up Get 2 action camera. It was actually a really good camera. As far as an inexpensive camera, they are still a wonderful camera. They're not GoPro, but they're still a great little camera, and they're a super inexpensive alternative to GoPro. Yeah, we can give it a shot because I can email it to you. I can email the file to you. The SD card is long gone. Like I say, that's a file from 2017, 2016. I don't remember when the last eclipse was in Portland. But yeah, we went up to Portland to see the eclipse because it was going to be a total eclipse and pretty decently viewable from Portland area. And like I say, I forgot the camera was on. I had set it on top of a trunk lid. And so it was really cool because it caught the entire eclipse from it didn't catch the sun, but it caught the shadow and the dimming of the lights and then the brightening back up of it. And in that respect, it was a way cool little video. But like I say, that it was that stinking night that I did it too. Yeah, it was just a bad move on my part, and I haven't put much more than just a token effort into restoring it for a couple of reasons. Okay, like I say, then yeah, that won't work because the SD card is long gone. It needed to be replaced at that point anyhow. And the guy that had it, he just put it, that did the rest, that he managed to pull out a bunch of files from there. Most of them were okay. There was a couple others that were corrupted. But, and he just went through and recovered everything off the drive. But, like I said, I know that there's a couple programs out there that I've thought about sending it off. A lot of them want like $50, $100 to restore it, to see if they can do it. A few of them won't charge if they can't, but I'm not sure that particular file, although it's a really cool file, is worth that much to me at this point. Especially seeing that it's so old. I may do it one of these days. Their technology is like anything else. It's cool, but it's got some serious limitations to it. Now that could be where there's weight in gold because USB sticks are the flash drives, USB stick, whatever you choose to call them, that they're known for failure. And I've got a bunch that I do stuff like that on, and every once in a while, I'll have a problem with it. I've actually tried that. That typically the program won't recognize the file to begin with to convert it to another one. Occasionally, it will just do a forced conversion, and it still comes out corrupted in the other file type. It's in an MP4, and I've tried to the AVI, to the MPEG, and to a few others. But the more common programs won't recognize the file to start with to convert it. And a few of them to do the force conversion, that just come in and just force the conversion. The file's still corrupted on the outside. One of the programs showed me the individual frames, but not the entire video, and it wouldn't play as a video. And so I think the individual frames are still there, but there's something in the information that tells it that, hey, this is a video, this format, and so on. And I just don't know enough about that type of information to really look. The people that do, like I say, they tend to be pricey to do that type of stuff. So, and again, that's kind of a lesson learned to me, is to back everything up redundant. What happened is I just accidentally did not move that file and then formatted the card before I realized that file wasn't moved. And that was my bad. Since then, I'll rename and do everything else on the card itself, move the files, and then play the files at least once from the computer before I hit delete the files out of the card, out of the camera. They're just a way of changing it, what I do to help ensure that doesn't ever happen again. And again, that's just my own idiocy that did that one. There's other drives that I've been half-heartedly thinking about investing in, and I'm just not sure that they're worth the money to me for the type of work that I do. I keep pretty big memory cards in my cameras so that I typically don't have to worry about backing them up or filling them up. The 64 and 128 meg are pretty much the minimum I keep in cameras anymore. I've got one of the 256 meg cards that I keep in one of the cameras, just for that intent that I don't have to back up in the field. But there's a couple of these drives that will do that. You can insert the SD or micro SD, and it just automatically backs everything up, and that's what it's meant for. It's backup storage on the go, and that way you can have a huge amount of storage to where you can just back up and format the cards. But my biggest worry is that the card, the backup wouldn't work correctly. You wouldn't necessarily know it, and the card would wind up getting formatted because of that. So, but there's a lot of professionals that use these, enough so that I don't believe that to be a legitimate concern. But at the same time, I've heard of photographers losing a huge amount because something like that happened. And once you've lost it, there's nothing you can do. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe in the future, depending on what I do. But I prefer having spare cards to the point where I can just cram. If the card starts getting full, I can just pull it out, cram a new card in there, and worry about downloading the files when I get back to a computer and can do so and verify that they are good files, that the move was good, a good file. Drones are horribly notorious for that, because you've got no way to view that footage from the SD card itself. And Brandy, that's the route that I'm planning on taking and planning on, that I'm currently taking and planning on staying on. You can even pick up the 128 gig cards for 30, 40 bucks, 20, 30 bucks a lot of times. And you can pick up the the higher quality ones, not just the cheap ones. Yeah, I'm kind of anal retentive about having spare batteries that at any given moment in my pocket, which is part of the reason why I love cargo pants. That any given moment I've got three, usually four. I've got a fourth one that needs charged. And I've got multiple spare batteries for our GoPros. And although I have a 7, I always make sure to get the blue top so that they're compatible either way. And yeah, I don't use GoPro batteries, so I can get them fairly inexpensive. I try to keep at least 2, but both drones I have 3 batteries total. So that I've got 1 in it and two spare. And again, I've never flown enough to burn through all 3 batteries, let alone the 4th one. For my Pro, I've got 4. I think I only have 3 now because one finally did die. But I've never flown through all 4 batteries, even on the Mavic Pro. I've flown through 3, but not, and started the 4th, but I've never burned through all 4 batteries. And only once or twice have I flown and burned through 2, even in the Mavic Air. So I'm probably going to back that down into carrying 3 only with both drones. The Mavic Pro is old enough that I'm going to need to start replacing batteries here pretty quick. They're just going to age. We're talking real heavy about it. There has been nothing completely decided. My brother-in-law is from Ohio. I don't know how close he is to Toledo, but I know he's from Ohio. And so we're going to run over to Toledo here and get some photos and get some video from Toledo and kind of tease him about being in Toledo. And at that point, I'll take the drone with me. I'll take both drones with me. And because what we're talking about is going over to Toledo, doing the beach, doing a day there, spending the night there, coming back up to Balamban. And President McSai back in the 70s had an accident, had a plane accident here. And on one of the mountains here, he died in a plane accident. They've got a little monument up there. I've been reading some of the comments about that area. I'm thinking you need a 4x4 to get there nowadays. Sunshine is an all-wheel drive, but not a 4x4. And one of the comments said that the all-wheel drive without the ground clearance, you're not going to get there. So we're going to try, and we're just going to make a couple days of it to do that trip. And the other thing that we desperately want to do and may take a few days to do is go up to Bantayan Island. Go up to Bantayan Island and spend a few days over on Bantayan Island. And if we do, again, both drones are going to go, and I'm going to make time to get to use them. And again, I talked about changing priorities and a lot of things that we wanted to do and didn't. Oh, okay. I'm not sure where you came in. The family's splitting up. Mom and Pop are in Sabunga, and their oldest, Johnrae, is in Orlando right now. He owns a condo in Manila. Not those kind of batteries. That one runs on just straight AA, but we won't get into that conversation. Cindy would sue me for even making that kind of comment. But they're going to be going to Manila for about a month, and so the Monday morning they're leaving, and I got to ask her what time they're leaving because we talked about going and taking them, but Monday morning is the Zoom meeting call. Yeah, that's Brandon. That's generally my life. Don't ask, don't tell. And if you don't want to hear the answer, don't ask the question. So that was the family splitting up. Is it Mama and Papa are going to Manila for about a month, and that they're going to be why they're going to be there a month is Johnrae's girlfriend is living in a condo right now. But right now she was still working at the school that they met at and started seeing each other at. And Mama and Papa are going to stay until after she's gone so that they can make arrangements to have water and electric bill and all that fun stuff paid while nobody's in Manila. And so she doesn't leave until the 24th of July. And so they're going to be there at least until the end of July. So we're going to be on our own for almost a month or almost, a little over a month, about 6 weeks. So that was the family splitting up. Yeah, that was kind of a clickbait thing. And the New Adventures is just exactly that. What I was just talking about is that Cindy and I have talked about it for a few different reasons. We realized that we need to start prioritizing our lives. And this is going to be really our last chance to have our time. That from here forward, it's going to be permanently family time. And this is something we've talked about repeatedly, that we wanted to go do different things, and life and family have just gotten in the way every time we've tried to plan something. So we're talking about going over to Toledo for kind of like an overnight, a 2-day, 3-day thing. And then she's got some friends on Bentayan Island that we've talked about going to visit a few times. And it's just never materialized. And so we're talking about here in the next month making that materialize and realizing that it is a priority that we need to make. My coffee returns. Daniel asked about family splitting up.
Oh, you didn't tell her.
That's yeah. And the
Interesting title.
Yeah.
Are we splitting up? Oh my God.
I put it in the middle so you had to read the entire title.
You might say, oh, see John and Cindy or something.
Yeah, it was a little clickbait. So.
That's funny.
But so live streams are definitely going to be potentially real interesting here in the near future. Well, I am, even if we're gone like that, I am still going to do everything I can.
You do videos, record the videos.
Well, I'm going to do everything I can to do the live streams in the morning, do the walking live streams too, to take them along that time.
Look at me, look at them.
Yeah, I'm a bad one doing that. Anyway, I still plan on trying to do the live streams as best we can in the mornings, even when we're out like that. If we're on vacation and if we're on trips like that and the signal warrants it, we may do nothing but walking live streams while we're traveling. If it's a horrible signal, we may do nothing but short talking head videos. We may post a 5-minute video first thing in the morning to replace the live streams, but we will still do something first thing in the morning, our time. in lieu of live streams if they just won't work for us. That's and this is something I talked about, and Papa's starting to do a little bit more with me. And this is part of the reason why I'm enjoying helping him learn how to use the gimbal and the camera.
Mhm.
I've got some decent camera gear. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I got distracted.
I can see that. When I get distracted, I just look at things. I don't hurt people.
I did not hurt you.
You ain't the one getting your hair pulled. It's going to be here in the next couple of weeks. If everything materializes like we're hoping and expecting it to, it's going to be here probably next week. The Toledo trip, if we pull it off, it's going to be next week. And at this point, I'm recognizing if we pull it off.
Weird to do it. Either do or do not. That's the only two.
And we've been stuck more and do not. But we both recognize the need for the priority.
Yeah, because so far I've been always a doer. And I said, let's do it. And we always do it.
But it's always been with family or for family. It hasn't been for us.
You know, that's my fault.
And so.
I can travel.
And we're recognizing, yeah, Daniel, that's a legit question. And we're recognizing this is probably it until
8 weeks.
Yeah, and until after Pumpkin's old enough to travel.
So I still have 7 more weeks.
This is about it. And that's why
we're taking advantage this.
Well, with Mama Papa gone and everything else, this would be the perfect time to do the last bit of travel we can do.
Yeah, because now we get ready for all the baby clothes, get ready shopping, and after that, so yeah. And I have more tests after. Welcome to my life.
Yeah, you didn't land on that one. But
so far, the baby is healthy and
yeah, so far everything with Pumpkin's going along outstandingly.
Hi, John from the Philippines. I have trouble with sleeping now. How much more? Right?
Like I say, wait till Pumpkin shows up. The Pumpkin's going to
I
expect
wake up 1 o'clock
hours.
and then go back to sleep at 4. Dang. So that's why I sleep in the morning.
But a Philippine experience. But I showed the other guys. We figured out how to do business cards. We managed to get some here, but you got to manually cut them. So the pre-cut ones will still be hugely appreciated. That they are way simpler to do. And the other thing is Papa's teaching me a lot about the science. And the other thing that the business cards work great as is pre-printed flashcards.
Yeah. It's so cool that you Papa feels bonding and connection and a lot of stuff.
That my train derailed again. I'm sorry. Back in Phoenix, that I was trying to learn the science, but just had no place to practice it, and so a lot of what I would learn would fall away too quickly. Here, some of it's starting to come back, but not a lot of it. And there's a lot of times that I know I should know what's being said or what the correct reply is, but just am not pulling it up because through lack of use.
Daniel asked the Philippines, getting excited about going to the Philippines.
Oh, you got to be. Yeah, you got to be on the side of your seats, getting getting ready on that one. Uh, Now you're also talking about something that
teach field trips.
I don't know. She's teaching me quite a few new things, but I guess I'm not that old.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have that one too when it's raining hard and you said, look, go, that.
yeah, they were teaching me lightning and thunder. That rainstorm we came back in. It was really the first good,
Yeah.
prolonged thunderstorm that we've had since we've been here. But they were teaching me Kilat is thunder or lightning, and Dulugdog is thunder. That yeah, because you're talking about going back through the Middle East, and that's one. And with leaving from Phoenix, that we're leaving so far west coast, it wouldn't be advantageous to go that direction. But yeah, that's one thing that I haven't done. That my sister through Operation Smile goes to India uh, relatively frequently, and she admits from Phoenix that it's about a 50-50 shot which direction she winds up going, whether she goes through over the Pacific or Atlantic.
Waiting for the 10-day hotel quarantine.
Yeah.
I mean, we have quarantine. It's not really quarantine because we still get to go up.
Well, the hotel kind of kept tabs on you, but it was only until you
That's
got
the-
back. Yeah, it was barely a 24-hour
Less
quarantine.
than 24 hours, yeah, that's it. And then we actually go somewhere else, go to the mall, go to the dealer, and then we arrive in Cebuga. That's the time we did our 14 days quarantine. And I told Mama, since we have a car, we could just sneak up. But there's just a lot of neighbors.
Yeah, and anybody that's been in small town Philippines knows the Chikka Chikka that goes on in the small towns. But and we snuck out the last 3-4 days a few times.
Yeah.
That we were doing we were getting ready for a little family fiesta, and so we needed some things in car and stuff like that. And Mom and Don were both saying, just get in, do not stop, and just get out of Sabunga, and it should be okay.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, being trapped in a hotel room for 10 days would have. If you consider getting multiple rooms,
Yeah, fine.
that and this is nothing against Mama, Papa, or family. That whenever we travel with family, and that's one agreement that she's made, if we get a hotel, we get a room by ourselves.
Yeah. It's so rare when we are in one room all together when it's just one night and then we go fly, you know.
Well, and yeah, that's happened a few times.
Yeah, when we stop by in San Diego, when we stop by in, which one is that?
Yeah, San Diego, we did 2 nights in, and we did a room with Mama, Papa. There was one time here at Palm Grass.
Oh yeah, because that's one night they were supposed to go home to Mona and waiting up.
Yeah, we just wound up spending too much time here. By the time we could have gotten back in, at that point we didn't have sunshine, so we were stuck with either cab or bus, and we were down in that area, so we just spent another night. We just spent a night at the Palm Grass Hotel down in Cologne District. That's a really nice hotel if you're in that area, and it's an inexpensive hotel.
Yeah, I bet you're not. I'm still going to wait until yeah. October is just 4 months from now. July, August. Yeah, right?
Yeah, and time does. It flies quick.
That's what happened for us. We're supposed to flew last year around April or May, and then because of a lot of stuff going, we waited until October. Right?
Yeah, that last May 5th was supposed to have been Philippine Airlines inaugural,
Yeah.
their first flight when they started the Cebu to LAX nonstop. And that's what we talked about. And we talked about just cutting down baggage and just going to LA, either drive or fly and then go straight to Cebu that way. And matter of fact, even in mid-April, you resigned from Paychecks with that intent. Or no, late March, you resigned from Paychecks with that intent.
No, I started the resignation March, but effective was April 11th. But
And-
because of the changes, I go back again to work in May. I realized I cannot work less than 30 days. So.
Yeah, with everything going on, that because they moved that, they stopped doing that, and then we got tickets in July, and then they changed that, and then we wound up getting changed until September.
During my birthday.
And again, it was going to Manila, and we said no. And so, yeah, that fiasco we've actually talked about a few times. So yeah, we feel your pain. Yeah, that waiting until October is, during the wait, it can be horrible. It seems like forever. After the wait, it wasn't that terribly long. Where's David?
New Zealand.
You got to do 14-day quarantine and have you go to New Zealand? Just from some of the offhand comments that he's made and has been reported about, I honestly think Duterte wants this stuff to reopen, but he's getting wedged between politics at a different level than Gwen is. And but yeah, I think he would just as soon say, screw this, open it up and let's get back to life. But it is got different pressures than Gwen does. And so I think he's having to play politics at a different level than she is. But she is being a welcome voice in the politics.
I will say, yeah, as long as you're vaccinated, because you remember we have friends in Phoenix that they went to Ukraine, and there's another one, Debbie Lupnaka. She just flew to UK.
And that there's a dive group we used to go with.
And then they go
That
to,
they're going to Cozumel, and they went to
the other one goes to Jamaica. Yeah.
yeah, that's it. I'm thinking that
And
at
no
least
mask.
with the vaccine, that yeah, you can travel pretty much anywhere. And most of the U.S., from what I'm understanding, is giving up masks.
Because you've seen that even Kuya, when Kuya drove from Florida to Massachusetts or going to North Carolina, but there's no mask. You just have vaccine. Because they said as long as you're vaccinated, you're okay not to wear masks. Most people
So-
wear masks anymore.
Most people won't wear them anyhow. But
There's an actress here in the Philippines who went to the U.S. She said she's a very popular actress, Sharon Pineda. She said she has more freedom in the U.S. than in the Philippines.
and ironically, that was why a lot of people came to why a lot of expats came to the Philippines, because it was getting other freedoms were getting eroded, and it was way more free here.
Yeah, Brenda's just got back from Florida. She's very few months and
That yeah, 'cause-
according to my brother, next year when they open it, I mean, this coming August, like all the kids will start having vaccines, and they will be in person, no online anymore. So
I could see that being a way to force vaccine on the majority population. is requiring it for schools.
Yeah.
The same as they did for measles, mumps, and rubella. And there are enough that will do it that it should hit that 70% mark. And they'll just do quarantine or mask or whatever token thing for the ones who have conscientious objector for whatever reason.
Yeah, but we are going on. Over 1 hour.
My timekeeper just noticed that yes, we're over an hour, and we truly appreciate the guys that do come here, especially all you regulars.
Going for like relay. Yeah.
There's some strong talk of that, and
I want to say, yeah, they have that training. I heard about that training.
we'll talk a little bit more about that Monday on the
Zoom.
call. The thing I like about Zoom is it's more private and less restrictive than YouTube. But there's a few comments on the green lane and the vaccines in general that I'm going to make. And plus it allows more immediate
Just
feedback.
remind again to send a link. So you sent last time, but it was long. So
Yeah, I'm going to try to do that today or tomorrow. I started doing the Microsoft to-do list, or
just
Google
do it
to-do
right
list or
now
whatever.
after you do it.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot to do today.
I
and that
just
would
need
be
to
some-
go to buy food, so vitamins.
You need to do that online anyhow.
No, I need to go to the office and pick it up because I need to give Papa.
Mm.
And I need also to have Jill bring over the vitamins. He's paying that too.
All right. So I guess we do have a few things to do.
And then we're thinking about withdrawing that account, but it's
And yeah, David, that's what's part of what's going on here is that because of community issues. I see an orthopedic surgeon because of a back issue, and I need to get some paperwork filled out. And he asked about the MRI, and the only one I had is like 5 years old now. And he asked about a new one, and I asked for an open MRI, and the only open MRI in besides Mindanao is down in
which one?
Butuan. So we asked, you'll see him on here, Phyllis and Joe, if they live in Butuan. They're just outside now. But,
Nasipit.
Nas-
Nasipit.
not CFIT. That it's basically a suburb of Butuan. So we asked them, hey, would you mind a visitor? And they said that what's that province that they're in?
Surigao.
Surigau's back, huh?
Surigao del Sur?
Whatever province they're in is back to the community quarantine passes and all that good rot. So, but yeah, and I don't know how many cases, but most of the Philippines is opening. Cebu is pretty open, but yeah, you got hot spots that get stupid. But anyways,
we thank you and we appreciate you. John loves to talk, so I just need to cut it off.
we appreciate everybody that comes here. But for today, mabuhay.